Is it us? I don't know the kind of I'm speaking. I'm just so excited to be back here with you guys. Hi guys, welcome back again to the channel. Happy New Year, because this is the first time I'm doing a live video here for you guys. I think the last time I came live was in December. Yeah, it was in December, and we had a heart-to-heart discussion. And today we are live again. So just begin to drop your questions in the comment section. Today we're going to be talking about, issues, whatever issue, because I've been getting some questions. I get questions, back to back. I've done videos on, okay, why your corset is flat, why your corset doesn't turn out right, why you don't understand corset tutorials. Hi, France. Hello. Just say hi in the comment section as you're coming in. Just say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay. Say hi in the comment section and let me know where you're watching from. Let me just turn on subscriber mode so that we won't have spam messages. Okay, I'm not seeing that option, so we'll just start like that. Okay. So I've done videos like, okay, why your corset is flat, why you don't understand corset tutorials, and I still get some questions here and there. Some people still come into my DM that, oh, my corset didn't turn out right, or I just can't sew a corset. So if you're having issues with corsets, just drop it in the comment section. Whatever issues you know you are encountering with corset making, drafting the pattern, cutting it, sewing it, just drop all your questions or your anything. This is a live stream, so somebody might even have an answer for you in the comment section. So whatever issues you're having, just let me know. Now I want to talk about corset, and I have a whole playlist. I think after this live stream I'm going to share the playlist. I'm going to pin it in the comment section of this live stream. I have a whole playlist about corset making, pattern drafting, everything you need to know. And one thing I always tell people is a corset is just a bustier that the cup was carved out. If you understand this, my dear, you will not have issues with corset, because trust me, guys, I also had challenges, okay, coming up with the easiest corset tutorial for you guys. Like, you guys to notice that it took me a while. Like, corset was the whole rate for corset was on for about a year, almost 2 years, before I even jumped on the tutorial. And this is because I was looking for like the simplest method. Because if you guys know me, I don't like anything they call problems. Problems. I don't like it. So but the moment I just told myself, I watched a bunch of tutorials, and even when my mom, if you don't know, my mom sews as well. So my mom was like, oh, it's very simple now. Is it not to cut? In fact, my mom is one person that whatever style you take to her in this world, just give her 3 days is even too much. She will sew it. So when I saw her just simply like, oh, corset, I can sew that one. Or she just looked at it and like, oh, she just needs to draft the pattern and that's all. I'm like, okay. So corset should be really easy to make. So the first way to conquer whatever issues you're having, just know that it is not something too big. It can be taken care of. Now, the most common question I get, I wrote some of the questions I always get for corset making. I wrote some of the questions down. And the first question I always get is, oh, Ada, how do I know what cup size to use? And the simple answer is, to know the cup size you should use for your corset, do you know the size of your bra? Okay, some people wear 32, 34, 36. Those 32, 34, 36 is the cup size of your bra. So if you are making a corset, it's your cup size you would buy when you are buying your already made bra cups. Okay, is that cup? Let me say, if you wear a 34, when you go to the market, tell them you want, these people that sell already made bra cups, tell them you want to buy, your bra cup. When they ask you which size, just tell them 34. Okay, if you are making for a client, politely ask the client, oh, what is your bra size? Okay, if you're making a corset for them, so that you can know which one to buy for them in the market. Another thing you can do is you can make your own cup. You guys know that they have these corset and these bra foams. They sell these bra foams in the market. So you can also buy a bra foam and make your own custom made cup. Okay, now the easiest way to make your your own custom made cups. There are lots of tutorials about that here on YouTube. I think that's one of the reasons why I have not even done that tutorial, because I've seen a lot of tutorials on it. The easiest way is just to cut your cup, with that corset pattern you have, and just join it on a zigzag stitch. That's the easiest way to make your own custom made cup. That is if you don't find your already made cup in the market. Okay, now something you should always do to already made cups, yeah, they already have this bra shape, but something I always like to do is to insert a dart. If you've watched a lot of my corset tutorials, the Victorian corset tutorial that I just published, I think 3 days ago, I did it there. My other corset tutorials I also do, you notice that I always insert a dart in my corset cup. Okay, that's the already made bra cups. I always insert that to make it stand the more. There's always a difference between a bra cup that you just use like that and the one that a dart has been inserted into. It makes it, I don't know how to explain it. It makes it stand. It gives it more volume. Okay, it gives it more copy shape. Okay, when you insert a dart. So something you should always have at the back of your mind is the bra size you should use, because that's one question I get. Oh, how do I know what what cup size to use? What is your bra size? Okay, the cup size you should use for your corset is your bra size. Me, when I go to the market, I always ask them for, I think I used to use a 32, then I got pregnant, I started using a 34. I think now I use a 36. Yes, I think I use a 36 now. So when I go to the market, that's the sewing supply shop, I always buy a cup 36. Okay. Now another thing some people yeah, something people complain of is their cup is always bigger. That's the already made bra cup is always bigger than the corset cup. And what I always tell people to do is you can trim. Okay, if it's too big, you can just make sure you gum it to your main corset cup. You trim the excess, or sometimes even when you've not gum it. Something I like to do is I like to join it first to my main corset bodies. That's after attaching the cup to the main corset bodies before I go ahead to trim the excess. It's a little safer for me that way. Or sometimes I just gum it, then I just whatever works. But if your cup, that's your already made cup, is bigger than the corset cup, that's the fabric cup for your corset, you can just trim that out. Because I get a lot of questions like, oh, Ada, what if the cup is bigger? Simply trim it. It's just like when one side of your skirt is long and the other side is short. What do you do, my people? You trim it. So just drop your comments in the comment section. Let your comments keep coming. I want to get your comments. What your problem areas are when it comes to making a corset. Okay, say hi to me in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from. Now, another problem I notice some people have is they have a problem with drafting a corset pattern or understanding corset patterns. And something I tell people is, if you watch like YouTube, we have a lot of creators. We have a lot of we have a lot of creators. I have very phenomenal colleagues that put up corset tutorials. I always tell people that don't watch one tutorial and give up. You know, don't say, "Oh, I've watched it, I don't understand it." Sometimes when you watch a particular tutorial, that is why it is on YouTube for you. When you don't understand a step, pause the video, rewind, or be skip back. Okay, YouTube puts that button for a reason. Skip back, watch it again. There are times that I want to cut something and maybe I'm stuck. I'll come on YouTube, watch my colleague's video, or I'll even ask somebody, "Hi, Jessica, how are you? Hello, thanks for coming." Yeah, so I even watch some of my colleagues' video, maybe if I'm stuck, or maybe sometimes I'm looking for like an easier method, because the method I know for a beginner, it might be a little confusing. Do you understand? So sometimes I just sit down and keep drafting. I keep trying. So if you watch a tutorial and it's difficult for you, watch another tutorial. As you're watching, keep practicing. See, you can never get something right if you don't practice. Practice is the spice of life. Trust me, guys, practice is the spice of life. Practice is the spice of sewing. So if you're having issues with corset making, you are not getting it, you're saying people see, if I show you guys the first corset I made, I if I show you guys the first corset I made, you people will laugh. You would laugh. You will so laugh. So don't give up. Like, keep practicing over and over and over and over again. Okay. Now, something you should always do is when you want to make your corset, you must have forcible interface. You must add forcible interface to your fabric. That one is a must. You must add forcible interface. Your air stay, your paper stay, your soft stay, all those your stay, you must add it. Okay. You must add your boning, whether it's your Regiline boning or that other boning is a must. Okay. If you don't want to do already made cups, you can use an underwire. Okay, so if you are using something like a net fabric, you can use an underwire and there's no need to pad the cup. Okay, but if you're doing something like Ankara print, you still want to give the cup a little bit weight, and you don't want to use that. You want to, that's a fabric cup itself, not the already made cup of the corset. You can use your underwire, okay, but you want to pad the cup of the corset. That's if you're not using an already made cup. Okay, you want to pad it with some wording. Okay, so making a corset, you must use boning. You must underwire. Some people really and love, so make sure you use forcible interface. Make sure you use your boning. Make sure you use underwire, that depending on what you're sewing. Also make sure you cut correctly, because corset, funny enough, corset is very simple to cut and to sew if you get your pattern drafting right. If you get your pattern drafting right, if you get your cutting right, okay, corset is a, as in, corset is one of the most straightforward tutorials. No, I know you might be finding it difficult, but trust me, it is one of the most straightforward, because once you get your drafting right, your cutting right, the only things remaining for you to do is to just join. There is no other brain racking or calculation. Like me, once I draft my pattern right, I know how many inches I added for seam allowance. I know how many inches I added for both seam allowance for the pieces and for the sides. When it just gets to sewing, I just join, and that is it. So you want to make sure you are cutting correctly. So if you've tried a particular method of drafting a pattern, and when you wore the dress, it didn't turn out right, it might be that you didn't draft correctly, or maybe that, sometimes there are some patterns that is not favorable to people that have bigger boobs. Do you understand? There are some patterns that are not favorable to people that have bigger boobs. There are some pattern drafting that are not favorable to people that have smaller boobs. I don't know how to explain this. Like, for example, somebody might say, okay, for you to get your cup size, you should take the measurement of your nipple point to your under bust point and take that measurement round. For someone who has a small boobs, that will work. But for someone who has big boobs, it might not work. Okay. So sometimes some people you notice that some tailors go as far as, taking using their measuring tape and putting taking the with the width, from this point of the boobs to, the middle point, so they know how to draft the pattern. So when it comes to pattern drafting, especially for corset, sometimes you have to play around with different methodology. Okay, you have to really dig around, watch tutorials, especially if maybe you're on the big side, or sometimes if you're overtly on the smaller side. You have to play around, watch pattern tutorials, watch pattern drafting tutorials. Then sometimes you to get a perfect corset, it might be a combination of three people's tutorials. I don't mean that three people's step A to Z. No, it might be that, okay, the way the person took her cup is favorable to me. The way this person marked her shoulder, the way this person marked her under bust, the way this person marked her measurement. You can take all those ideas, and when you're drafting your pattern, you'll be more knowledgeable. Now, something you should always do, I always tell people that because a tutorial on YouTube and you can access it for free, doesn't mean you are not in a lecture room. So when you're watching tutorials, you should always take notes down. Even me, like when I want to draft a pattern, I write some things down. Even when I'm editing the video, I write some points down so that don't forget to tell you. So when you get to that point, you might encounter a problem, or you might encounter a mistake, you might find that, that part of the video a little confusing. So even if you're watching on YouTube, take notes down. When you take notes down, you'll not be able to know, okay, this is my problem. Because if you don't take notes down, just be like, I'm just confused, I don't understand anything. But if you watch, when the person is drafting the pattern, when you watch my pattern tutorials, as I'm drafting, you are watching it, you are taking notes down. Where you get confused, you will stop, rewind the video, go back. Now when you've taken your notes down, you've taken things down, when you go back, to your drafting table, with the notes you've taken down, you follow it step by step, you see that you could easily draft the corset pattern. Do you understand me? So don't see it like, oh, because it's on YouTube, you just watch it one time, you forget, you're not taking notes, you're not taking points down. It will affect you. Okay, I want to know if you guys are hearing me. Let me know as if I'm talking to myself. Can you hear me? Just let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Like this video, please like this video. Hey Louis or Lois. I hope, see, if I murder your name, I'm really sorry. Yeah, hello. If you can hear me, just let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Let me know in the comment section. Hi France, hi Jessica. Hi Louis. Is it Louis? Yeah, Louis. See guys, I'm so bad with names. Just forgive me. Yeah, so on that's on drafting the pattern. Now when it comes to sewing, I always tell people that, if you see me preparing to sew my corset patterns, right, you would think I'm in mathematics class, because I'm always tagging the pieces. I always feel like I would mess up the pieces. So even when I'm gumming my stay, my soft stay, whatever stay you're working with, to my pieces, that's from the pattern, I even tag center back, center front, middle everything. Okay, Barbara. Barbara said loud and clear. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Because at a point I felt I was talking to myself. Yeah. So what was I saying? When it comes to making a corset, something you should also do is, you want to make sure you're tagging pieces right. You want to make sure you're tagging your pieces right, and you want to make sure you're putting arrows to indicate where each cup should face. Okay. Huh, I don't have a corset here. I would have brought a corset. Oh, okay. For example, let's say this is a corset pattern. You can see I have like my phone side buttons here. Okay, so if you are gumming, you're meant to put an arrow here to show that this is going this way of the pattern, because sometimes if you face the pattern or the fabric, if you join it in the wrong way, it won't come out right. Do you understand? If maybe where you're, especially if you're cutting maybe a two-piece corset or a three-piece corset, you guys know we always tag it number one, number two, and number three. So if you switch where number one is meant to be, or maybe you take number two to where number three is meant to be, it's going to, of course, it won't come out right. Okay, so you want to make sure you're tagging your corset pieces. That way you will minimize error, because you guys know that one of the reasons why dresses, tutorials, bustiers, whatever you're sewing don't come out right is when the right thing is in the wrong place. Do you understand? So you want to make sure you are tagging your corset pieces. You want to make sure you are tagging them correctly. You want to make sure even when you are gumming it, you are gumming the right place, because sometimes, because it's two-piece, sometimes people gum the wrong side. And by the time they're done sewing, you'll be like, oh, this thing did not relax well or is hanging. Okay. Now, another issue a lot of people encounter is their corset hangs. Like, instead of it to be, of course, you guys know that the cup is meant to start under, at your under bust point. Some people's cup is either it goes way, way lower, or it's a little higher, it's hanging. It's either it's hanging, or it's too low. The way to fix that is to make sure that your shoulder to under bust measurement is correct. Sometimes, and I tell people that I always say this, I think in my voiceover, one of the ways to get a style right is to make sure your measurements are right. Okay. So your shoulder to under bust point cannot be 14 inches and you're going ahead to mark 15 inches. Of course, it will not sit well. The corset will be looking like they made it for your elder sister, you carried it and you're wearing. Do you understand? Yeah, so you want to make sure that you are interpreting the right measurement on the pattern. So if you feel like you've done everything right and your corset is still not coming out the way it is meant to be, maybe try get somebody else to take fresh measurement. It might be that you've lost weight, it might be that you've added weight, it might be that the measurement they are working with is a little faulty. Okay, so just take your fresh measurement and make sure that you're using the right measurement when you are drafting your pattern. Okay, now let me know your comments in the comment section. I don't want to keep talking and talking and talking. I'm just talking from the questions people have dropped for me or questions people have asked me in my DM. So all of you here on the live stream, please let me know what your problem areas are, or maybe difficulties you're encountering with making a corset or sewing a corset. Just drop it in the comment section in the live chat. So let's talk about it live and direct. Okay, okay. Yeah, and please, if you're here, just like this video for me. Yeah, like this video so that other people see the video. Now, I've talked about hanging corset. I've also talked about getting your cup to fit right. I've talked about your cup size, what's cup size to use, which is your the bra size. Okay, to get the right cup size for yourself, you should just use your bra size. So if you wear a 34, when you go to buy your ready-made bra, just get a size 34 bra cup. Okay, I don't know why I'm interchanging this. Yeah, so we've talked about, now the next thing we're going to talk about is flat corset. And I think I've touched on this at the beginning of the video, where I talked about when one reason why people's corset come out flat is because sometimes, a lot of the times, they are not using, see, for your corset to stand, you must use a cup. Eh? Even if you are using just an underwire, because underwire allows it to stand too. If you are working with Ankara, you might need to pad your cup with a wadding. Okay, so if you want that standing corset, please use a cup, whether already made cup or the one you're going to make yourself. Please use a cup. Okay, so if your corset is hanging, please use a cup. Please use a cup. Okay, please use a cup. I don't know why I'm saying this. Please use a cup if your corset is hanging. Now, um I noticed that with corset making, I don't know if it's just me, sometimes I feel like this other, you guys know that boning you can't sew over. You know, we have like Reggiline boning and we have the other boning that is strong that you can't sew over. I noticed that sometimes, so maybe it's just me in my funny head, the boning that you can't sew over is stronger than the regular boning. Like this Victorian corset that I just uploaded a tutorial, which you should check out. Okay, I have a detailed tutorial on how to cut and sew a Victorian corset. Is up on my channel, so please check it out. Now, I noticed that I used that other boning that you can't sew over, and it gave me a firmer fit on my corset. It's not like those Reggiline boning don't give a good fit, but I noticed that the other boning that you can't sew over gave me a better fit for my corset. I don't know how to explain that. Have you experienced that with your corset? Because I know that with Reggiline boning, of course, it gives me a strong hold, okay, on my corset. It looks put together and everything. It looks like a corset. But with this other boning that I can't sew over, it just gives me a more solid grip on the corset. And right now I'm even considering, I don't know, I might consider to switch strictly to that one or just mix it in between. But it's something I just found out a couple of days ago. I'm like, is it just me, or this other boning is giving a stronger hold to this corset? Yeah. So guys, these are all the problems people have been sending to me in my DM. Okay, people have been dropping in my comment section issues they've been having with corsets, from their pattern drafting to understanding tutorial to cup. In fact, the one for cup is, how do I know what cup to use? How do I know what ready-made cup to use? Okay, I've talked about it here. So these are all the problems people have told me that they've encountered. The what I've noticed from my comment section, from comments you guys have dropped. So guys, this is all for this live video. If it's something you want us to continue just drop other topics, maybe other problematic topics, problematic styles, or your problem areas when it comes to sewing. I want to have this heart to heart chat with you guys. I didn't just want to be dumping tutorials, and maybe you guys have some problem areas that we can talk about. I just want us to, talk about it, get to know each other. You guys are my besties, okay? So that will be all for now. For everybody that tuned in, thank you so much. I didn't get any question here, okay? So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate. Thank you. Please check out my YouTube channel. The views is not balancing, guys. So please check out my YouTube channel. I have new tutorials from shorts to Victorian corset, easiest way to sew. You guys know I'm about the easy life. Easy way to sew Victorian corset, easy way to cut Victorian corset, updated way to cut a short, okay, to cut and sew a short. Trust me, guys, very easy tutorials. So please check out my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream. Bye, guys. Bye.